Hi, I'm Nancy. Welcome to Mindful Yoga. Today we're doing a kind of humorous yoga after a poem by Philip Appleman, Kharma, Dharma, Puddin Pie. So let's come to a place where we can begin with some breathing and alignment of the body into a good posture. Feeling the sits bones underneath the weight of the body. Drawing up from the pelvic floor, up through the upper belly, the heart, up through the throat, the root of the tongue. And as you exhale down, letting the lower tips of the shoulder blades and the front ribs settle down. Our yoga today is one of wit and wisdom, of pluck and grit. And taking some time to breathe here to arrive in the body. Thanking the trustworthy breath. Thanking the loyal heart. Oh, Kharma, Dharma, Puddin and Pie, give me a break before I die. Grant me wisdom, will, and wit, purity, probity, pluck, and grit. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, kind. Give me great abs and a steel trap mind. And forgive ye, God, some humble advice. These little blessings would suffice to beget an earthly paradise. Make the bad people good and the good people nice. And before our world goes over the brink, teach the leaders how to think. Thanking our minds for their steel trap cognitive sharpness as we learn and plan. And then coming into a few breaths of the wisdom of silence. And opening your eyes, we're going to do a kind of greedy breath from yoga called Kapalabhati. You could bring your fingers to the area between your lower front ribs. And when you exhale sharply through the nose, you'll feel your muscles working there. So keep your focus on the nostrils or on the tip of the nose. The inhale is just passive, and then breathe out sharply through the exhale. We'll begin by just taking a regular inhale and a regular exhale. Then breathe in about 50% and begin. And imagine that you're a child and your mother is leaving and you're waving goodbye to her. Goodbye, goodbye, Mom, goodbye. And then you feel very sad. Corners of your mouth come down in a big clown frown face. And the chin goes towards the collarbone, eyes down on the inner thigh. Keep that frowny face as you come over down to the other side. And one more time to each side. Oh, I'm going to be so lonely without my mom. Then bring the chin back to the chest in the center. And bring the eyes up to the horizon. And then let the eyes and head go in one direction and then the other. A bit of a smile starting to come onto your face. Imagining, Mom's gone. There's some interesting things I could do. Bring the chin over towards the shoulder, one side and then the other. A bigger smile comes over your face. And then push out with one hand and diagonally and out with the other hand. Big smile, and you're off into the world. One more time in each direction, and come back through center. Bring your hand down, planted down beside you. Lift up with the other arm, dangle over, stretching through the side ribs. Plant the hand on the other side, reach up with an inhale, exhale over. Then gradually we're going to go out a little farther, a hand length at a time, exhaling over. Starting to feel that side bend, perhaps down through the side hip. A little farther out this time. Feeling under the armpit and the shoulder joint. And come out a little bit farther. And this time come out so far that you fall over. And just become like a rag doll. Going from side to side, maybe coming down on your elbow. Always modifying what I tell you to do to match your body. And one time on each side. And come up through center. Bring your arms out wide. Point a forefinger out to each side. Let the tips, lower tips of the shoulder blades come down in the back and the front ribs rest down. Then open all your fingers, close, open, close, open, close, open. And then turn the palms so they're facing the walls on either side of you. Just feeling what you feel. Little tingles up your arm perhaps. And then bring the fingertips out, facing out towards the wall and pivot at the waist. Eyes and navel staying in the same line. Just a slight thoracic twist back and forth. Keeping length in the spine. Then as you come through center, bring the other hand around to the opposite thigh. Opposite hand comes back behind to give you some support, and take a moment of silent wisdom. Coming round, come to the other side. Back through center. Spread your wings, open them wide like you're drying your wings, sitting on your little rock island out from the shore. And then bring everything in, hug your knees, coming into a ball. Like a child who's hiding inside him or herself. Opening up and exhaling, becoming invisible. Inhale out. Exhale, ball. And one last time, opening through the chest. Boo. I'm here. All right, let's do an arm revolution. One arm lifts up, eyes follow the fingers and come back. Adapting this to your body with eyes and shoulders. And one more time round, opening up that shoulder joint. Then come slowly back the other way, lifting up. Now pretend there's mud that you have to come down through, pushing down through that mud little by little. And then over to the other side, lifting up and coming round. 2 more times, inhale up and exhale back. Inhale up and exhale back. Then bringing it back up and down through the mud. Oh, 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 oh. Now take a dishcloth or a rag and wring it, wringing your dishcloth in one direction. Then pick it up in the other direction and wring it the opposite way. And letting the dishcloth go, just turning your wrists a little bit. And round the opposite direction. And then let your hands come back behind. Feet are wide on the mat. Some weight into your hands back there so that you can turn your windshield wiper on without walking the hips forward. So always keep a little bit of weight of the shoulders coming down onto the heels and balls of my hand so that I don't walk forward. Windshield wipers back and forth, and then letting an arm come around. Let there be a bit of abandon as you join in the momentum, just enjoying the feeling of the body turning, the arm floating through the air. And next time you come over, fling the arm up and back, and over and up and back, over, up and back, over, up and back. Then just flop on the floor. Drag yourself back up and flop over to the other side. And emerge once again. We're going to do triangle, but it's a sitting down triangle. So making a triangle by bringing your thumbs together and your forefingers together. Bring it in front of your face, run the triangle up, and then bring it down all the way to the navel and up. Lower tips of the shoulder blades down, front ribs resting down. One more time, lifting up, letting the shoulder joints be soft as you come down. Then bring that triangle to your eye level and bring it in front of one of your eyes. Open one eye and close the other, and then do the other way. So alternately opening and closing one eye and then the other, noticing the two different perspectives that you get. A good child's play. And then coming over to the other eye and doing the same thing. Appreciating that steel trap mind of yours for putting all these perspectives together every minute of our waking day. Then bring the triangle over to the left corner of the eyes. Let the eyeballs, the eyes, follow the triangle. Bring the triangle across, follow with your eyes over to the right corner. A little exercise for the eyeballs here, over to the left and over to the right. Then come back through center. Triangle goes up, eyes follow, just goes up a little bit, and then down so the eyes can follow it down, and up and down. And bring your hands down. Bring your legs wide. Turn the ankles. Just enjoying that feeling of waking up the ankles, or in Uzbekistan, putting them to bed. Round the opposite direction. And then bring one hand over to the other foot, the back of the hand coming to the pinky or in that direction. And then do it the other way. Knees are a little soft here. This is called saw. So we're really going to saw back and forth. In Pilates, this is called saw. And then back and forth on the other side. It's a nice stretch. And the abdominal muscles are working a bit, right? As you make that switch from one side to the other. And last time. Coming back through center, folding the legs back in. Think of something that makes you angry. Just something in the world that gets your goat and makes you angry. Bring your hands and or elbows down onto the floor and just bang the floor. And then coming up, push over in one direction with a shh, and then over the other direction with a shh. This is a Qigong healing sound, shh, meant to let the liver shh, let go of its anger. Shh, shh. Once more to each side. We'll do one more healing side sound. This one treats anxiety or worry. So you might just think, something I'm really anxious and worried about. It could be a little thing, screwing up your face a little bit. And then bringing your hands under the left rib where your stomach and spleen are. Fingers gently go in under that rib and massage a little bit. Inhale, and as you exhale, a guttural hoo. Inhale up, keep the fingers under there. Hoo. 2 more times. May your worry and anger be gone. Let's lie down. Finding your place on the mat, wiggling your hips around and your shoulder blades so you're comfortable. Bring the arms out from the shoulders horizontally, legs rise up towards the ceiling. And let's just circle the legs in opposite directions. Kind of a sense of just playing with the legs. And if there's something else you'd like to do with them, please do that. Maybe your circle gets bigger, just letting the hip joints have a little fun here as the legs turn around in them. And then round the opposite direction, starting small and then getting a little bigger. Coming back through center, let's make our legs into horizontal scissors, cutting across each other, out to the side, crisscross, crisscross. Maybe go faster, maybe go slower. And then bringing the feet back together, a vertical scissors as one comes forward and one goes down a bit towards the bottom of the mat, not too far. Give your knees a hug. Bring the knees to the armpits. Raise the feet, coming into happy baby. This time, bring your hands to the arched inner sides of your feet and just gently tickle your arches in the bottom of your feet. And let yourself laugh. I hear there is laughing yoga now, so that's a little bit of our laughing yoga. Bring your knees bent above the hips. Again, arms, arms in fact coming up to hold the head, so fingers are on the outside of the skull on each side. One leg extends out, one knee comes up to the chest. We're working on those gimme great abs, part of the poem. If you would like to bring elbow to opposite knee, feel free. Then bringing the feet down, arms are along the side with palms going down towards the mat, head rises, and then slide one hand down towards the heel or the side of the foot, going back and forth, arcing kind of through the shoulders, back and forth. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it back and respond to your neck that could be feeling a little bit sore in the back, and give yourself a little massage. Extend the legs out, arms come straight up. I have acorns all around my house right now, and they thud down onto my roof, onto the pavement outside. Bring the arms up, let them just fall down. The big thud. Bouncing as the acorns bounce. And then we're going to give our knees a hug again, bring the nose up, and then allow the body to roll around the sacrum. Actually, your head can be back. That actually feels better. Let your head be back and just roll around the back of your pelvis or the back of your sacrum, making a circle there in the back. And back around the opposite direction. For 3, 2, and 1. Then we're going to turn on our sides, and we're going to have a little flirtation with failure, which can also be a good time to laugh at ourselves. We're stacking our hips, stacking knees, stacking feet, and stacking the arms going up above our head. Our attempt is going to be to raise up through the head and arms, and at the same time to raise up through the feet and the legs. A difficult maneuver, made even more difficult by the fact that your hip is rounded and you often can't balance on the hip. So if you can get a little strength, but also a little laughter out of this, that's fine. And then let's try the other side. You can just roll over if you'd like. Stacking, finding your fulcrum on your hip there. I roll a lot more on this side. And feel free just to laugh at your attempts. And bring it down. And we're going to come to a tabletop position. That actually is a yoga posture. I was taught it. I don't do it very often. All right, bring the hands underneath the shoulders, knees under the hips. And we're going to be a cat and a cow. So we're going to moo as our stomach sinks and we come to cow. As we arch our back, you might hiss or meow like a cat. Moo. Meow. Moo. Meow. Moo. And come back through center. Slide down into a prone position, into Sphinx. Fingers are spread wide, gripping the mat and pulling back a little bit into the elbows. Wiggle the hips around so that they have a comfortable connection with the mat and the earth. Lift from the bottom of the ribs up through the roof of the mouth, shoulder blades just gently resting down the back. A few breaths of wisdom here. Then bringing your torso down, bring your hands alongside with your hands, palms in towards the body. We're going to lengthen down one leg and then lift the other leg and lengthen down through pelvic floor as if it were going down in between your heels, lengthen through the crown. We're going into locust, so we're going to buzz like a locust as we let our head and shoulders and legs and arms float up. And bring it down. And once again, lifting up, long, and bring it down. Bring the feet and the thighs a little closer together. Head and shoulders rise, arms become wide in the back, palms are out to the side and thumbs are up, shoulder blades coming together and down in the back. We are a flock of geese. So looking from side to side, honk, 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 and bring it down. Take a little rest. Then taking a little swim, we're going to do the breaststroke in the front. So bringing the backs of the hands together, pushing the water away. Legs might be straight out and back, or you might bring your knees wide and your feet together and just let them be still there. It's nothing like really doing the breaststroke, but it's a fun try. 3, 2, and 1. And then coming back into a child's pose, arms extended out in front of you, reaching from the fingers back through the hips. Come forward into a lazy up dog with a ruff, 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 and back to child's. Forward to up dog, strong through the glutes, ruff, ruff, ruff. One more time. Ruff, ruff, ruff. And come back. Bring the hands back and come up onto your knees. So first we're going to crawl up our mat, alternately hand and knee, alternate hand and knee going forward. Opposite hand and knee going alternately forward. And then go backwards, just a regular crawl. Then we're going to do the bear crawl. For the bear crawl, tuck your toes, bring your weight from shoulders down into your hands and lift your knees slightly. Then crawling in the same manner on the toes and the hand, crawl forward with a and back. Bring your knees wide and let the arms come out in front. Take a little stretch. Then we're going to come into downward dog, but first we'll come into a forearm down downward dog. So clasping your fingers together and coming down onto forearms, elbows are wide, tucking the toes, raising the hips. Let there be a little softness in your knees. And then peeking out, turning just slightly and peeking out one side and then peeking out the other side. So one hip raises a bit and one knee bends a bit as you peek out. One more time on each side. And bring the knees down. You can always stay with the forearm downward dog or coming up on your hands, fingers wide. Weight into the hands, weight back on the feet as you lift the hips and bring the weight back over the feet. Pressing down with the hands into the mat, engaging through shoulders and arms, up through the sides of the body, the pec muscles in the front, chest, and the shoulder blades strong in the back. And then pedal the knees a little bit. Come forward into plank for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Elbows in, knees down. Cobra. And come back up into downward dog. Let the knees be a little soft. Bring one hand through to the other side, the opposite side. Bring it back and bring the other hand through to the opposite side. One more time on each side. If you would like, careful of shoulders here. Other arm comes back. Keep the weight back over the feet. And then one last time, we're going to bring the hand back to the opposite leg, just touching that opposite calf and then coming the opposite way if the shoulders are bearing this. And bring it back down. Alrighty. We're going to come into lunge, knee down lunge. So hip is over knee in the back, knee is over ankle in the front. Align the hips 9 to 3. We're going to do a plucky breath, Bhastrika, and we'll come hands up with a ha, 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 4 times, and then forward, ha, 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 4 times, then 3 times, 2 times, 1 time. Inhale up, 4 times, ha, 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 forward, ha, 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 3 up, ha, 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 3 forward, ha, 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 2, ha, 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 1, ha, ha. Bring the hand of the front knee to the thigh, open the other arm, opening through the chest and the shoulder, resting that shoulder blade down through its lower tip. Other hand comes back to the thigh, open on the other side. Bring the hand back, switch legs so that we're on a low lunge on the other side. Finding your balance here, pushing that shin down or the front of the foot in the back, down a little bit to give you a little bit more balance, and align the hips. And we'll do the Bhastrika, plucky breath again. Arms go up for 4, ha, 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 forward, ha, 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 3, ha, 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 2, ha, 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 ha. Then bringing again that same hand as the front leg to the thigh, open through the pectoral muscles, shoulder blade coming around. Bring that arm back, opposite hand on the thigh, open on the other side, aware of those shoulder blades and the softness in the shoulder joint. And come back. Now we're going to come into a low lunge. So foot is between hands, fingers might be tented. You can always have blocks if you have them there and want to use them. The back foot goes back so that I'm pushing back through the heel. I'm up on my toes in the back. And then I'm going to, this time, lift forward. So as my heel goes up and down, bringing the body forward a bit with each pulse, feeling the calf waking up. Now, step the back foot forward a step. Turn it so that it's right behind the heel, the arch of the back foot behind the heel of the front foot. Bring the hand of the front foot onto the foot, rub it up the front of the calf or the shin, and open up into a triangle. So one arm up and one arm down. This is part of the moon salutation that we did last week, a harder part of it, and I thought we would practice a little bit and then come back to it next week. So bring your foot back, reach back through the heel, and pulse a few times. Then stepping forward, pivoting the foot so it's back behind the other foot. Hand comes to the foot, runs up the front of the shin and open up. And bring it back down. Let's switch sides. Do a low lunge on the other side. Reach back through the heel and pulse, lifting the heel, stimulating the calf, letting it breathe its blood and lymph up around the body. And then we're going to step forward, bring the arch behind the heel of the front foot. Hand of the front foot comes up the shin and open up. Come back down. Hands to either side of the front foot. Reach back through the heel. Few pulses. Step forward, pivot the foot. Run the hand onto the foot and up the front of the calf and open up. So this is one way to deal with this somewhat difficult maneuver. And let's come up to standing. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Knees and hips are soft. Bring hands to the shin and open from lower spine to upper spine. Exhale, down, forward, fold, knees soft. Lift the hips slightly, though the knees are soft, so that you can decompress the spine and just let it hang. Letting your neck hang, maybe swinging like a skeleton back and forth. Then bend the knees and hips quite a bit as hands come out in front, palms facing each other into chair. Bring arms up and sit down in your imaginary chair. Inhale up and have a seat. Now make a sunbeam around your face, maybe with a big smile, maybe not, and come around to the other side. Little twist through the thoracic spine. And one more time to each side. And come on up. We're going to do a Qigong move here that is plucky and gritty. Qigong comes from a martial arts, and this is reflected in this one. We bring our fists so that the fingers are up, and then we're going to turn one and bring the other back. So feet are wide. As we bring one elbow back, the other fist turns down and punches out as our knees bend down and hips reach out a bit in the back. Inhale up, exhale, punch out, elbow goes back behind the body. Keep your concentration, your grit and pluck right on the end of that fist. Oh, your steel trap mind concentration on the punch. Nice long Ujjayi breath as you exhale. And one last punch. Bring it up. We're going to do a tree balance now, but we're going to do a modified one, starting with turning the knee out and bringing the ankle to just above the heel. So just stay with this modification of the tree balance for right now, finding your weight in that foot, feeling your trunk developing, strong woody trunk coming up through your body. Bring your arms up into branches. Shimmer your hands and fingers, letting them twinkle as the sunlight or maybe the raindrops come down onto them. And then we're going to be a falling leaf coming down. Rising back up into your tree with your ankle above the heel, reaching up, shimmering with your bright leaves and falling. And bring it back up. And then we're going to do that on the other side. Again, finding your woody trunk, channel of energy open, then bringing your branches up, shimmering through your leaves with water or perhaps with sun, and be a falling leaf. And once again, last time, shimmering and maybe lazily coming down. And rising back up, bring a weight into one foot. Make sure that your hip is not flaring out, so your side hip muscles are strong. And then on purpose, make yourself a little wobbly. We're always a little wobbly in our balances. This time we're going to do it on purpose, almost making it so that you're going to have to catch yourself. It's like, it's kind of fun to play with the balance and the imbalance of it. And try that on the other side. Again, getting your leg set, your hip strong, and then lifting up your limbs and just challenging yourself to wobble from side to side. Now we'll come into a bona fide tree pose. So finding your weight from your hip joint coming down through knee, coming down through the heel and across to the mound of the big toe. Strong woody trunk coming up. Finding your place for your foot. It might be on the calf. It might be up onto the thigh, thigh into foot, foot into thigh. Hands coming to the heart of the tree and perhaps opening up into branches. Make the bad people good and the good people nice. For 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. And then setting your foot of the other leg, feeling that strong hip, strong leg, strong energy coming up through the body, lift up, and finding the place for your foot, your version of tree. Perhaps your branches open. Before our world goes over the brink, teach the leaders how to think. For 3, 2, and 1, and bring it down. All right, we're going to do a half moon here. This is also part of the moon salutation, and we'll come back to this again. You might want a block, or you might just want a sofa or a table or a chair, something that you can come over on. So we're starting with one of the toes straight towards the front of the mat, kind of in triangle pose with the other foot back behind. Leave at least a good foot or more, 15 inches between you and whatever it is you're going to come down on. Hands come to the hips, bring the weight forward, and then bring the hand down on whatever it is you're going to rest on, raising the leg in the back and the arm up. Opening up, just enjoying this firm opening as you reflect in the water far below you. The moon shining in the water. For 3, 2, and 1. And bring it down. And then turning so that you can do it on the other side. If you are using a block, you might want to have a block in your hand and then bring that forward as you come forward. Weight comes down onto the block and arm and leg lift up. Or you might be on a chair or couch, whatever. Just getting your body used to being a moon. For 3, 2, and 1, and come down. We're going to do a warrior 1 next. So a nice back bend with a little bit of rhythm added to it. One foot is forward, toes towards the front of the mat. The other foot, heels are a little bit apart, and the other foot is at about 30 degrees. Hips are around towards the front. If those toes in the back need to go forward because of the hip, that's fine, no problem. And we're going to open up the hands, palms forward, arms a bit behind the body. Come up on the toe in the back and begin a little rhythm, just bouncing the body up and down. So maybe we're an itchy warrior, or maybe we're just a happy warrior. And then keeping that rhythm, if you would like to, bringing the hands arching up overhead, fingers up towards the ceiling, hips long up through the torso, and then opening up from pelvis through sternum. My rhythm changes a little bit when I go into a back bend. And bringing them back, down along the sides. A little bit of bounce still as you raise up through the arms, lift up fingers towards the ceiling, and then open, squeezing shoulder blades together. Oops, my bouncing stopped right now, but then coming back up, get your bouncing going again. Bring both feet together and just let your body bounce a little bit. Let the shoulders be soft and then the hips soft. Everything's just enjoying the bounce. And if you want to add some coolness to it, you can. And then we're going to do the same warrior 1 on the other side, again with a bounce. So 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Opening the hands, palms forward, knee is bent over the ankle, shoulder blades coming towards each other, and begin your bounce. You might have to bring your back foot forward just a little bit for your bounce. Arch the hands up, fingers up towards the ceiling as you bounce yourself a little longer up through hips and torso, and then opening into a back bend, squeezing shoulder blades together, no hinge at the waist, and coming back down. Start your bounce again if you lost it. Finding the rhythm of your body, lifting up through your fingers long, straight up to the ceiling, and then opening in the front of the body. And coming back up, arms come down. And once again, bring the feet together, enjoy the bounce a little bit. Perhaps feet lift up one after the other, and the arms jiggle like a child. And bring it down. I always liked to do that when I was a child. All right, let's come into Warrior Two, Virabhadrasana. So it is definitely in Sanskrit a warrior. Ground your feet, bring your dynamic earth energy up through the legs, up through the body, open through the chest, arms extend, gaze over the middle fingers, maybe flip the hands so your shoulder blades rest down towards your waist and bring them back. Sometimes I feel just a little bit rebellious against that idea of being a warrior. And so I step forward, offer my hands up, palms up, and from the poem, helpful, kind. Come back into Warrior Two, step forward, helpful, kind. One last time, helpful, kind. And then bringing our hands to our hips, find your Warrior Two on the other side. Find your firmness, your grounding, your strength, your pluck, your grit. It's all of your warrior for whatever it is you're fighting about and for. Bring your fingers out to each side, eyes over the front fingertips, flip the hands, bring them back. Step forward towards the side, helpful, kind. Helpful, kind. Helpful, kind. And bring the hands to the hips. Bring the feet together under the hips. And here we are, having been basked in the moonlight. We're going to bring our tiger claws to the tree in front of us and mark the tree with your claws. And then soft, bring them up through your body. Reach them up for the energy that you desire from the heavens and gently bring that down into your body. Again, becoming the tiger. Softening the paws, bringing them up. Taking the chi from the heavens and bringing it down through the body. One last time. Soft paws up the front. Reach up. Get the chi, bring it down. Bringing the hands down across the body to the core of you in your abdomen. And take a moment of wisdom here. And we'll come to a lying position before we end here. Take a moment to let your heart, your shoulder blades relax down. The sacrum to feel its connection with the earth. The calves and the heels. Then bend one knee and let the sole of that foot be on the mat. The other foot comes up with the ankle on that thigh. We're not going to raise the leg. Instead, we're going to bring the flat of the palm against the figure 4 leg's inner thigh. Pressing gently on that inner thigh as we relax down through that thigh, down through the hip. Profound relaxation in the inner abdominal area. Long exhales that let you relax. Soften through the back of the waist, up through the armpit, the side of the neck, the jaw, the temple, and the ear on that side. Release that side and come to the other side. Figure four leg, bring the palm to the inner thigh. A gentle pressure there. Relaxing down through the hip joint, the side of the pelvis. Soft through the abdomen. Relax down through the thigh, the calf, through the back of the waist, the rib cage on that side, through shoulder joint, the side of the neck, the ear, cheek, the eye on that side, the nostril on that side. Heavy through the skull. Release that leg. Bring the arms up above you, legs extended out. Pull up on one wrist, push down through the heel. And the other side. Then a few moments of breathing here. Legs extended or perhaps knees leaning in towards each other, bent. Allowing your lungs to freely breathe. Let them capture all the pluck and grit, as well as the trust and loyalty. Trusting our bodies to be there, to let us know what's going on. Give the knees a hug. What wit or wisdom would you like to bring back into your day? And then rolling over, or staying there if you would like to. Oh, Kharma, Dharma, Puddin Pie, give me a break before I die. Grant me wisdom, will, and wit, purity, probity, pluck, and grit. Trustworthy, loyal, helpful, kind. Give me great abs and a steel trap mind. Namaste. Fun to practice with you today.